As we consider the many facets of silence, and as we avoid naivete in how we approach it, I'd encourage you to consider the difference between noise and music, something musicologists and composers have discussed for centuries. Noise is random sound, meaningless sound. We talk about noise hurting our ears, as if there's a small act of violence taking place between its sonic waves and our bodies. Music, on the other hand, is sound that's been organized, resulting in a meaningful rhythm between sound and silence that adds up to a meaningful experience. When we love something, we might say it's music to our ears, as opposite an idea from violence that could be imagined. In other words, there's not just a slight difference between organized and unorganized sound. The gulf is massive. When our daughter Eden was only 3, we used to play a game while driving. My wife Allison or I would hum or whistle the first 2 notes of a song, sometimes the first 3. To our great shock, Eden could identify the tune far more often than not from only a couple notes. As she got older, we shifted from sung notes to something more like audible Morse code. In a matter of seconds, she could guess Jingle Bells simply from its opening sequence of da-da-da. This was fun not just because Eden was musically gifted, though she is. It's because, at its heart, music is more fundamentally a matter of time than it is of notes. Music is the choice of which spaces to leave, how often to leave them, and how long they should be. Back in the late 1700s, Mozart was convinced that melody is the essence of music. But by 1959, Leonard Bernstein insisted that music is time itself that must be carved up, molded and remolded until it becomes like a statue, an existing shape and form. If you're still unconvinced, consider the difference between Rue's Whistle, also known as the Mockingjay from the Hunger Games films, and the opening to the love theme from Henry Mancini's score to 1968's Romeo and Juliet. They have exactly the same intervals between the notes in exactly the same order. The only difference? The length of time between the notes. One really does sound like birdsong, the other like longing. Your life is like music in this way. You may find that you experience noise far more often than you'd like, and silence may seem much more of a mirage than you'd wish. But just like you'd never want a life of unending work or waking hours with no sleep, it's worth the journey to write silence back into your life, to give it time as well as space. My hope for you in this book is that you can begin to find, pursue, and even help to create a meaningful rhythm between sound and silence in your own experience, a rhythm that transforms your life more into the music it's meant to be.